and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. To begin today, I just want to say thank you guys for the great show of support and response to the Nail of Ascaris review. That's my first video that I've had that many views on in quite some time, so I just really appreciate that. For a small content creator like myself, that is really encouraging to see. But we're not here to talk about last week, we're here to talk about this week, and today we head to Britain to examine one of the nation's, I would say, bigger metalcore experts. Not huge, but one of their bigger ones. You know, I'd say that recent British bands in this area rank somewhat in tiers in terms of like popularity, overall reach, streams online, things like that. Groups like Bring Me the Horizon and Asking Alexandria are at the top of that list, while others like While She Sleeps and Bury Tomorrow are right behind them. Now, whether that means they are musically superior is up to one's own interpretation, but the way I see it, there are a lot of those British metalcore groups that are coming away from the nation and are beginning to reach a wider audience, and this band today is definitely one of them. You know, bands like Bury Tomorrow, which is the band we're going to be talking about today, and While She Sleeps, they have their extremely dedicated fan bases, but they aren't quite playing arenas yet. They're playing the bigger festivals, and they're playing to some really good-sized crowds, but they're not quite to the point where they're consistently headlining those bigger venues yet. Today's review, again, it's Bury Tomorrow and their latest album, The Seventh Son, out March 31st on Music for Nations. Now, this is a band that is on that second tier where they're not quite to the level of popularity or reach that a band like Bring Me the Horizon is, but they're on their way. They're definitely on their way. This is their first album since their 2020 effort, which was called Cannibal, and it's their 7th overall. So how these guys do on their first post-pandemic outing, let's jump right in and see. To begin, this is definitely metalcore, but it's metalcore that pays this terrific homage to mid-2000s stalwarts of the genre. There's a lot of the harder, more metallic leanings of bands like August Burns Red and Unearth on here. However, that's juxtaposed against the sing-along choruses of groups like All That Remains and even Killswitch Engage themselves. In a genre that is steadily trending more towards a heavier emphasis on electronic elements, it's such a breath of fresh air to hear something that is just straightforward metalcore. You're not going to find any surprises here, no drastic innovation, but it never really gets boring. In terms of songwriting, there's a great use of complexity in the lower parts of the register, while these solid guitar leads play over the top. Bassist David Winter Bates and drummer Adam Jackson lead a rhythm section that is precise and tight both to each other and to the rest of the band. That's something I always love. They're joined by guitarists Kristen Dawson and Ed Hartwell, the latter of whom is actually making his band debut on this album. Beyond all that, keyboardist Tom Prendergast, who, by the way, is also making his band debut, offers these light atmospherics that help push the album in a nice direction. Just really good stuff. All this comes together to form a metalcore effort that, while again not severely innovative or groundbreaking or even awe-inspiring, still makes for this good, honest, safe listen. I think my favorite part of the album, though, lies in the way it's produced. Again, not without breaking any molds, the way that they fit themselves into the mold that they've chosen is really good. There's a distinct push and pull between light and dark elements, which is always representative of what metalcore should be. I love the way that the mix plays with that push and pull and the manner in which the band's clean writing and then the rougher, heavier stuff just play off of each other. Everything fits right in its place, the puzzle is put together, and things just work. They just work. But after all of that really simple goodness, I'd have to say that itself is the album's great weakness. It doesn't really, again, it's lack of innovation, or it doesn't really try anything. There's no out-of-the-box thinking. There's no pushing. Even the stuff that I enjoy about metalcore, which is, again, that play between dark and light, the way that they do it on here is just so knockoff of other groups, it doesn't really offer anything that it hasn't been done better. What it does offer is staunch. There's a definite vision to this album. It just feels a little cut and dry, kind of like we've heard it before. It suffers from some of the same problems that I found with We Came as Romans' album Dark Bloom. There's a lot of good, but there could be a lot more. There's this laser focus on trying to tip the scales in a heavier direction, which is fine, but I'm one of these people that believes you have to have balance when it comes to metalcore. Again, that light versus dark, that's what drew me into it at the beginning, and that's what I continue to love about it. Unfortunately, they just don't present that they present it well, but it's not over the top, oh my goodness, I have to hear this again kind of well. Again, not a bad album, not a great album. It's just an album. It's worth a spin, maybe two, but that's the most I can say about it. There's nothing revolting about this album. There's nothing awful about it at all, but there could be so much more to it. The clean choruses needed some extra attention, and I think the album could have benefited from a solo or two here and there. Overall, though, it's a good effort. So I'm giving The Seventh Son by Bury Tomorrow a good, safe, not spectacular 3.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. Click like, and please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the new Bury Tomorrow album. Next week, we're going to be heading into power metal territory, which is one of my personal favorites, as we review something that's not quite an album, but not quite a compilation either. Yeah, it's a little weird output, a little weird release by a little band called Powerwolf. It's called Interludium, and I can't wait to dive into it. I hope you join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I will see y'all next time.